Hello, simplifiers. Happy Tuesday. I'm surrounded by junk. There have been bins and things, papers sitting around in my den for a year that, I'm in that membership group of Dawn's. But due to that group, nothing should be sitting around my house like that. So anyway, I'm not sure why it's been sitting around for a year, except I just didn't want to deal with it. So we're going to deal with it today. So here's my first one. I think I had some donations in here that never got going where they were going. In fact, let's see here. Oh my gosh, this was stuff I had cleaned out of Mom's cabinet, and some of that I see that I'm keeping and some I am not. Yeah, this came out of my Asics. I've got a trash can here. I'm just gonna throw that away. That's because I don't use that. I use Good Feet arch supports. This was definitely a donation I never took. I've got, I think, 3 pairs of glasses here I need to take to Walmart. I'm going to Walmart today because I have a return, so I'm gonna put it with my stuff. And then what else is in here? Let's see, this is a little plastic thing. I'm just gonna throw that away. I'm not using that. Got a bunch of cords in here. Let's see. Ah! Okay, that's not torn up, so I'm keeping that. Wonder what this goes to. That is torn up, actually. Wonder what that goes to, because that's, I don't know. Not loving the way that looks. Some of these must be from Temu stuff I bought. They send you a different cord with everything, which is really annoying. And I haven't been buying anything from, there's another one. I haven't been buying anything from them in probably almost a year. Just because a lot of the stuff I bought, either I didn't like the quality, or there's another one. This, I think, goes to my phone. Okay, that was split, but Spencer said it was okay to use, like, if that is split right there. He said that, I don't know if you can see that split right there. He said that's okay. It's not like the cord is frayed, it's just the plastic thing. So I think that fits my phone. All right, so I'm just gonna leave these. Let's see, here's a barrette. I'm just gonna throw that in trash because I don't wear those. Some old supplements, gonna throw that in the trash. This cup, I'm gonna literally throw that in the trash. I'm over it. Over it. Okay, so these cords, I don't know. I'm gonna put the cords under my bathroom vanity. So basically I've got one thing to donate here. I think I'm gonna donate these. I had kept these supplements, but then I took one of them and I don't remember which one it was. These were my mom's. And one of them really made my bladder hurt. So I'm gonna give all these away. Let's see, so yeah, I use this Glide. So I'm gonna keep all of these. This was a hand cream. I actually put that in my gym bag. Okay, Rapid Wrinkle Erase. I've actually been using up Mom's moisturizers, so I will keep these and use these up. Okay, so basically, I'm gonna give that thing away. So basically I've got 5 things here I'm gonna donate. I'm gonna stick it back in this. I'm gonna stick it back in there with the wires and I'll get it out and take it. Okay, the rest of this I'm keeping and I'll put with my stuff. So that stuff will just go with my stuff. All right, that didn't take long. This I didn't like and it's been sitting, I think I was gonna throw it away or give it away a long time ago. There's not much in here, I'm just trashing it. This pen I was using today, some days it works, some days it doesn't. I'm just over it, it wasn't working today, so sayonara. Okay, this is a whole bunch of papers I got out of a, okay, here's a debit card. I need to shred that. We got new credit cards and stuff yesterday, so that has just been sitting here. I don't use a debit card, but they keep sending it to me anyway. I don't use them. We charge everything to credit. I don't like debit cards because you don't have as much leeway with them. If it's something stolen, I think you're liable for part of it or something, so I just don't use them. Okay, these are old, very old credit reports, and Spencer had told me to get rid of it a long time ago. I really don't feel like shredding all this. I think I'm gonna see if he'll put it in the fireplace and shred it that way. Shred it via fire. So I can just all at once. Okay, this is having to do with our home. This is all very old papers here. This is what we're looking at now. This right here. This is all very old stuff. Yeah, like a tax form from '02. We don't need that. I'm gonna put this in the, I'm just gonna keep filling this folder up. This has tax info in it. I'm just gonna see how old is this. I think this was all sitting here to shred, if I'm being honest, but like I said, it's been, okay, that says 2008. Yeah, it's been sitting here so long, I don't know what it is anymore. 2006, 2007, 1995. Every tax form we've ever had. Yeah. Okay, I'm not even gonna keep looking through that because that is why that was all sitting there. Why I didn't do something with it, do not ask me because I do not know. Same with all of this. Pile of stuff here. Why? Nobody knows. Delta Dental, we haven't had that in 3,000 years, so that clearly can go over here. This is auto stuff, I think, from, like, all of this was from when I sold my Buick. And y'all, did I tell y'all that the lady I sold it to is a postal worker? And the last few weeks I've seen her driving my Buick around. She had a really old Buick like mine. You kind of trash it when you're a mail worker, so she's gonna trash my car. But listen, it was a 2000. So, I mean, I'm happy somebody's getting use out of it. And y'all know we tried to fix it and I cried about that car because I loved it so much. All this, I'm just going into the fireplace with that. I could just probably throw that away. I don't know if that's anything important. This is, okay, really old receipts from Walmart. I'm gonna tell you what, I've been just throwing the receipts in the trash. I used to do all this shredding, not doing that anymore. I'm just throwing it all in. Let's see if it's pretty far back. We're just gonna trash it. Same with that. Let's see. So today's Tuesday. I'm going to lunch with a friend. Y'all, I love my friends, but it's like pulling teeth for us to choose a restaurant. She likes this restaurant. It's called the Silver Caboose. They have vegetables and meats and vegetables, and you can get, you know, like a really nice meal there. Their food makes me terribly ill, so I wanted to go. Well, it's actually, I guess it's gonna be warm enough. It doesn't look like it's windy. It's supposed to be around 70, and so I said, can we go somewhere with a patio? I was thinking the pizza place. I just had pizza, she says. My personality is such that I could eat pizza every day this week. Now, I don't want to eat pizza every day of my life, but if I'd had pizza yesterday and you invited me for pizza today, I will gladly go. So she always does this to me, and I'm like, okay. All right, so I don't get it. But, you know, we're all different. So I have to, you know, it's fine. It's fine. So when she said that, I was like, anything but the caboose. I just cannot, my stomach. Y'all, I had a club sandwich. It's a sandwich. It's turkey and I think like a tomato, lettuce, some bacon. Like, I eat food like that here and it doesn't make me deathly ill. I mean, I ate like half the sandwich and I was like, I took the rest of it home and Spencer and I were talking about what to eat. I said, look, there's a half a sandwich in there. Eat it. Because I absolutely am not. Okay, this is the auto repair place. Which car was this? Okay, this was for the Buick, and the Buick is gone. Okay, we get rid of that. I'm not seeing anything here that I need to keep, and I am. That's all going in the trash. In fact, this pile of stuff right here that I do with my old Buick, that I'm just gonna think there's anything here that's, yeah. Okay, that's kind of where I am right now. Let's let it go. Okay, what month is this from? More receipts, 2/10/25. I bet we don't need any of that. Okay, I've got some cards here. Let's see. Oh, it's a card I never mailed. I don't know. Here's the cards that I keep on hand that I've never mailed. Okay, so hopefully I won't get my sister another birthday card because I got that right here. Okay, a letter from my friend. A card from my friend. This was from like a year ago. Okay, let's see. An invoice for, what is this? The doorman. Okay, these doors are old. Let's throw that away. Something I bought I'm not even using. We'll throw that away. Our daily bread. Clearly, I was on like page 3. I didn't use that. I am like the world's worst. There's Hydrovac Quick Start. I don't need that because I already know how to use the thing. This is a church list, and I don't think it's up to date. Church. Well, hey, boo-boo. Church addresses. What is this? Vehicle registration. I think this is just an old registration. Did I take this back? Where's this heater? We bought a heater and it didn't work. Is that the one we took back? I don't recognize this brand. That's a good question. I think this vehicle registration says 2015, so that's old, right? I mean, this is nothing having to do with, I don't think I need that. I'm just like, I'm having confusion right now. I don't know. Shark Hydrovac. Okay. Foods to avoid if you have overactive bladder. So I feel about that. Another cord. I mean, how many cords does one person need? What does this go to? Clueless. Put it with my cords and figure it out later. All right. An address for somebody I don't need. All right, an invoice for getting a tree cut from 1,000 years ago. Some more. Okay, the heated bowl, petted heat bowl instructions. I don't think we need that. I'll look over that, and I think I can just trash it. We've had that bowl for years. More stuff I can just throw. This is going well. Everything going straight into the trash. This has to do with our insurance. Spencer must have printed something off for me. I don't need that. This has to do with our pest control. I do not need that. It has to do with my credit card. I don't need that. Okay, a letter I wrote for my friend. Copy of that. I don't need that. I think her case got dropped. My friend got just really screwed over. Okay, another letter from my friend. So I wrote a like a character witness letter for her. Yeah, I'll shred that. Okay. Well, we got it pared down. So right now I have a few little instructions I'm going to look at, and then 2 cards that what did this one say? Does it say thinking of you? No, it said thank you. Oh, I'm going to send this to my ENT. That's nice. I just saw my ENT yesterday. I'm going to send that to him. He's going to help me hopefully get on this Dupixent stuff. Okay, Dollar Tree from like 100,000 years ago. I don't think we need this. Okay, Walmart. Why do I have these receipts? Why are these receipts sitting here from 2/25? This is something I try to keep up with and go through them and throw them away. And so what I did was I just stuck them in a pile for later. This is where I get into trouble because I don't really keep receipts anymore. I keep it, if it's something expensive that I might return, you know, if it's still in the return window, because, you know, Walmart's usually 90 days. But this stuff is from 2 and 3/25. So we're now on a year. I mean, a Goodwill receipt, you can't even take anything back to Goodwill, so why have I got that? Okay. All right, that's all going. All right, this is going so well. Okay, let's see. This was a Dollar Tree spotlight thing that never worked, you know, a solar light. I was going to see if I could get in here. It looks like there's ways to screw this off and see if I can replace this battery. Been sitting here for a year. Guess where that's going? Boop. All right. Let's see. Oh, this is my postal scale because there's this thing called pirate ship. So if you need to, if you've got a printer, you can print it off yourself and you can use pirate ship for cheaper than regular USPS. Okay, we got some cards here. We got a notebook. Let's see. Hello Kitty. I'm donating the Hello Kitty book. I know that's surprising to you. I've had that for years and I've never used it, so let's just get rid of it. The same with this. Let's see. Yeah, I really like lined paper, and that's not lined. I'm just gonna go ahead and I've had both of those for years. Okay, I got 3 of these and a scale left in here. I'm just gonna put my scale back over. I don't know what I'm gonna do with those supplement things. Or pill reminders. Due to having to get off all the supplements, I'm just barely putting them back in. I'm not taking as many because I'm looking at some cards right here. Who's Michael Shelton? I don't know who that is. Something on Spencer. She doesn't care. Okay, sympathy cards about my mom, I think. Let's just, yep. It's been a year. It's time for the sympathy cards to go into the TRASH. I think that's what all these are. Let's see. What was I saying? I've lost my mind. I don't know. The things that we keep. The things that we keep. Let's see. This is from my friend Sandy. She actually wrote a nice note in there. I am going to keep that. Valentine's card from Spencer. I'm going to keep that. Okay. Another sympathy card. Yeah, this is mostly people from church and a couple other people. My cousin Tammy. I'm gonna keep my cousin Tammy's note too because we're real close. Okay. Okay. Now I got this. Surprise! It's a bag of papers. What do you bet all this is going? I'm feeling good about this. I don't know why I've been, you know, just sometimes I'm so lazy. Like I've been looking at this for a year. Why? Why am I looking for it? That bag's ripped up, so I'm not gonna bother keeping that. All right, 2024. Let's definitely keep those receipts. Okay, I'm not even gonna, if it's that old, we're not even gonna keep looking at it. I don't know why is this promotional whatever sitting here? What in the world? Something about Blue Cross I don't remember or care about. More receipts. I think I can just pick these up as a whole and trash them because if it was anything for taxes, I would have already needed it last year. So let's just, yeah. Let's just trash it. Yeah, this all says 24. Let's just pick that up as a whole and just, yes ma'am, let's just trash it. So one thing I had not told y'all is, this is still just receipts. I'm just going to glance at the dates because they've been sitting in this thing. One thing I haven't told you is I've been having eye problems since the surgery. I was having these weird flashes of light over here. So I'm still having it. It's not as bad, but listen, you know what Google will do to you. I decided after this had gone on almost a week. So The surgery was on a Monday a week ago, and then Sunday I decided to start Googling what the heck was going on with my eyeball. And then that was scary because it could be like, well, you have, I think it's called flashers. It's either called flashes or flashers. I think it's flashers. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I can't remember what she said. Anyway, so I have these flashes of light. So it's happening all day long. Clearly, you know, this is my bad side. Clearly, he probably got close to my eye. I mean, I'm not blaming him, not at all. When it first started happening, I was like, oh, please let this just be inflammation, please. Well, Sunday I started reading and I was like, oh, great, this could be a detached retina. Now, y'all, I love my husband, but he said to me, Sunday, I said, I'm going to call tomorrow. I'm going to see if I can get in with an ophthalmologist. Because if you do have a detached retina, I think it's possible to not realize. I think the main symptom of that is like part of your vision is blocked off, but it also said it could be blurry. And I still feel like my vision in this eye is a little bit blurry. So, Ranger's blood work, we can definitely throw that away. I actually kept Ranger's file, but there's, you know, just because I couldn't, hard to say goodbye, you know what I'm saying? But, Boo is staring at me. Anyway, so what I was going to say about Spencer, he goes, you're going to the doctor tomorrow, just ask the doctor if that's something normal. And I'm like, the doctor's not going to know if my retina is detached or not, okay? Love him to death. He's a great person, but he can't look at me and tell if my retina is detached. So I said, no, I'm going. I'm calling as soon as I can get in. And I figured if I said, you know, I had a surgery and I'm having this problem, I figured I'd get right in. I did. With an actual doctor in Collierville, which is the closest you can get to us and have a doctor. Somerville's like 20 minutes and Collierville's 20, 25, 30 minutes, depending on how far you have to go, which I had to go further in, but who cared? So drove into Collierville, which of course my gym's there too, so it was fine. I went to the gym. But yeah, I normally go to an optometrist, but I really liked her. This girl, it's kind of funny. So she's an Asian girl, so her name looks like it's Quack, which I thought was funny. It's Kwak. She's the cutest little thing. She's very young, very cute. Anyway, it's Quack. It's Quack. It's not actually Quack, but it's funny because you're like, you know, doctors can be quacks. So I thought that was funny. So anyway, more of Ranger's blood work. What the heck? Is this Ranger's whole file here? No. Okay, so I'll just throw his blood work away because I'm going to let Boo in because he's staring at me. He's giving me guilt feelings. All right, well, come on in. Come on in. There you go. You want to say hi to the people? No? Okay, so anyway, she was lovely and she didn't see anything wrong, but she was very thorough. Y'all, she blinded me with the light. What's with these doctors? Spencer says that, you know, they always say, don't look at the sun, don't look at the sun. Listen, y'all, I felt like I was looking directly into the sun at close range. I was like, this girl, it was worse than what normally goes on at the optometrist. And this eye was worse. It was just like, my eyes started watering. It was so bad. So there's one thing I'll say about my optometrist that I went to forever. She didn't keep that in your eyeball forever. Well, she really was, especially on this side, she said, I'm going to spend more time on this side. I was like, oh, great, because this side was terrible. She does not see anything, but she does want me to come back in a month, which I thought that was good. And she told me what to look for. One of the things is like part of your vision will be blocked off. So like if the light's flashing over here, probably if it were going to detach, it would probably start being blocked off over here. But at any rate, if I was seeing like a dark area, or I don't know, that would be something to really look out for. So here's some stuff from 2005. This was stuff, I pulled a bunch of stuff out of the file cabinet, and that was what, and I asked Spencer about it, and then nothing ever got done with it. So here's old life insurance information that, of course, is not up to date at all because it's from 2004, 2005, yes. So this is all... This is all, what does that mean? Okay, this is all really old stuff. Okay, So, anyway, so my eye's fine. I still feel like, I have more floaters over here or something. I feel like something's floating in front of my eye. But the flashing is what's really annoying. But it does it in the daytime, but you can't tell it's doing it because it's bright. So when I first noticed it, I think it must have been, at first I was thinking it wasn't the first night, but I think it was. I got in the shower and it's a little bit darker in my bathroom, and I think that was really when I noticed it. So, okay. I wonder if I could just throw all this into the trash. So anyway, I'll see her in a month. Okay, that's cleared up the papers. So basically, I think I'm gonna see if I can just get Spencer to throw all this into the, you see how much that is? It's a couple inches of papers into the fire, and then that'll take care of my paper. The only paper I have left, and I've worked on paper for years, so don't be like, oh my gosh, how do you not have any paper? Because I spent years shredding. That's how I don't know if it was years. I spent a lot of time shredding. So I have some of this in the store. This actually, I think, needs to be filed. Okay, I'm not filing that because I can never locate it. But this, yeah, some of this, I think these need to be filed right here. That's just a small stack. This is something in case I want to put money in my set. And then this basically right here, these are basically the papers I have left. Now I have a few random papers over here behind you, but just like this, these are the papers I have. So listen, you can get there too. And I do have a small accordion file with some papers, which is where I'm going to put this. And I think that even needs to be cleaned out. Okay, so I'll file that. So anyway, that is taking care of all that. Now I just have this one box right here. And this box says shred on it. I'm not really doing that anymore. I'm not really keeping a shred box anymore because I've pared down so much. So this, I'm just going to put this in the recycle room, which is the sunroom. I need to take my recycling cardboard boxes. Okay, so that's been taken care of. So I have this one box right here that has been sitting over here on the floor, because why wouldn't you? And this, okay, these are my favorite solar lights ever. They look terrible because they're dirty, but I really was going to try to figure out how to get a battery into these and reuse, because these are my absolute favorite. They're so cute. They just need to be cleaned off, but I had 4 of them. They're just so cute. So I am going to try to figure that out. So that's why that's sitting here. This right here, these still have hooks on them. I'm going to see if any of these are still working because I think they're cute. And I don't really have any solar lights out there right now. So these still have hooks. We got our our house pressure washed, and I had to get everything off the porch. But these all have, I got rid of the ones apparently that did not have hooks. The hooks kept falling off. The birds would land and then they would throw the thing off, and then they would, this box has cat hair in it. Imagine that. Then the hook would fall off. Then I couldn't find the hooks. So I'm going to put these out and see which ones are working and which ones aren't working. And then I will try. I'm just going to trash the ones that aren't working. Those are the little ones I got at Dollar General for $1, and I've had them a while, so that it may be that none of them are working. Okay, so that has pared everything down to a very manageable level now. Okay, so I finished the story about the eye doctor. I'm seeing her in a month, and then she told me what to look for in case anything were to happen. But I don't really expect anything to happen. And the flashing is not as bad as it was. I'm not thrilled about it. You know what? Do you ever feel like you can't win? I will say my gum feels a lot better. I think this has fixed the problem with my gum. I'm afraid to say it out loud. I mean, I'm saying it out loud, but I'm really afraid to say much about it because I'm afraid it will start up again. But it feels like that the surgery has fixed whatever was going on with my gum. So it might be in 6 months that we'll try a new crown, since this one's not sitting exactly the way it's supposed to. So when I see him again, I'll talk to him about that. I think I'll see him in June or July, and I'll talk to him about that at the time. So then I had my doctor visit with the ENT yesterday, and I thought that was going to go really badly because he had to suck all the stuff out. And the last time it was so bad. It was so disgusting. This time it was like nothing. He started and he said, "Oh, I need a bigger whatever he was sucking it out with." I was like, "Oh, great," because it wasn't uncomfortable. And usually what they do, you spray this nasal, I think it must be lidocaine. You spray it up your nose. They just have a little spray bottle, and you spray whatever it is up your nose, and it numbs you. And so you don't usually feel the thing, but he's putting I think is it the endoscopy type of thing? He puts the thing up your nose, and I could feel it kind of moving across here. It was a little uncomfortable yesterday. I don't remember it being uncomfortable last time, but it was 16 years ago. Maybe it was, but it was a little uncomfortable, and I was surprised because I've never felt it before, or maybe I did after that surgery. But usually when they do that procedure where they're not sucking anything, they're just looking in there, I usually don't feel anything. So it wasn't horrible. It wasn't horrible discomfort. It was just a little, just a twinge of discomfort. It wasn't anything terrible. And then, but it didn't, we weren't even in there 5 minutes. And when he's like, "Oh, this isn't big enough," I was like, "Oh, great." But it's still, he did both sides, and it wasn't very long at all. And he said, "Come back in a month." Well, they've made my appointment for almost 6 weeks. So I told Spencer I'm going to call back over there. And he's like, "Well, they gave you this." I was like, "What is wrong with you?" He's like, "Well, they gave you the first appointment." Well, there's more than one office. And he specifically said, "Get her this." That's not really what I said. I normally go to that office. They're all 45 minutes from my house. Does it make any difference if it's this one here, or this one here? They're all nowhere near my house. So when he starts this, I'm just like, I'm not sure they did give me the soonest appointment. And if it's supposed to be a month, I really want to go within a month, because he's going to suck more stuff out. And I couldn't breathe for the entire week because all this stuff was crammed up in here. So, because I did say to him, "Well, I'm just still really congested." He said, "Oh yeah, you will be. And this should clear it out today." And I was like, "Okay." I mean, I didn't know. The last time he did a better job, I think, of telling me exactly what to expect. And he still told me, basically, but when I left there, I could breathe, and then the next day I couldn't breathe, and the next day after that I couldn't breathe. Well, he said I did certain things in there, I'm sure, to probably keep you from bleeding continuously after the surgery. So he did whatever he did, and so that, I think, plus the stuff just being in there, and anyway, so that's why I couldn't breathe. So I am breathing a lot better today. But my thinking is there's still more in there. He didn't get it all because he's going to wait a month. Because he said, "Well, I could get all of it right now, but you would start bleeding." Well, nobody wants that, So plus I'd had enough, frankly, because it was not very comfortable. So I mean, it wasn't horrible, but it was uncomfortable enough. And I'd even taken a pain pill because I was like, I don't even know what to expect. My face has been hurting more than usual. I'm still having pain here. So before I left the house, I just took a pain pill. Just, why not? Just in case it would help something. But anyway, it wasn't nearly as bad. The last time it just was all this sucking, and it went on what seemed like forever. So the fact that it didn't take long, I was like, and he did tell me it wasn't going to be as bad. I just didn't believe him. Frankly, didn't believe him. So anyway, he said that I was on track. Everything looked good. He's starting the process for Dupixent. I said that people have a hard time getting it. He didn't seem to think I'd have any trouble getting it. I hope not. I feel like Blue Cross is becoming more obnoxious by the day. So, I mean, generally they're really good. We don't have a lot of problems with Blue Cross, but I couldn't get any Prevacid called in. Just like a normal person, you would just get a acid reflux med called in. I couldn't get that done. I still haven't gotten that done. My nurse practitioner was on the phone for 45 minutes and she couldn't get it done. It's like, what is it that they're requiring exactly? You have to have a pre-auth for for every single acid reflux drug. So anyone you picked, it didn't matter which one. It wasn't that this was a certain one you had to pre-auth. No, it was all of them. And I was like, what? I've never heard of this. Never. I've taken acid reflux drugs for like forever. I've never heard of it. So anyway, I still don't have it, and I've just been taking over the counter. Whatever. Anyway, the Dupixent is way more expensive than the acid reflux drug. So I was a little concerned about that because it's thousands of dollars each shot. Thousands. It's almost like it's a cancer drug. I mean, what costs this much? I'm just floored. Anyway, Spencer was in the waiting room and he said a lady came, he sent me a text. He said, because I was waiting back there for a while. He said a lady came through and said Dupixent had changed her life. And I was like, good. Let it change my life. I'd like to be able to breathe. I'd like to be able to go outside. I'd like to be able to enjoy myself. I'd like to not be sick all the time. Please, God, let this be my life-changing miracle. I'm ready. So anyway, I hope you guys have a nice day. Thanks for hanging out with me while I got this done. I feel really good about this. So I just have to find a place for these cords. Well, I know where I'm going to put the cords. And the rest of that's going to be either put in the fireplace or my post office scale is going to go back on my desk. Yeah, so the rest of this stuff's not going back on the floor. All right, thanks for being with me. We'll see you next time. Love you guys. Bye.